by podcasting celebrities like Yash Birla, Sid Malya, Barka Dutt, and Faye D'Souza. How this journey started.
People assume that, yeah, Anna has access to all these people very easily. It's actually not that. Barka and me speaking for over a year about this, and one fine day she's like, "TK, I'm in the middle of these hazard things. I know I have a podcast date with you." She's gone on the middle of the road, okay? And I loved her commitment to me. I think that I got the most amount of inspiration from Sid Malia, even in my own personal journey with health, that hey Anna, I don't drink and I'm clean now the last 3 years. I was like, wow. Faye being Faye, she has all the infrastructure in the world, etc. But she knew how important it was for me to get a FaceTime with her. So she came over, all my glee and excitement because it was Faye coming over. I set up a little high tea. Now, the most about Yash being such a dear friend of his is that he lost 3 family members in a plane crash, yet the resilience, the grit, the determination the man shows us.
Welcome, Anandita. You are a freelancer journalist, you are a curator and a planner, you are a podcaster yourself, and you are the face behind hashtag NFI.
I'm just using my own voice.
Launched a food and lifestyle blog with Ritik Roshan.
We are here for the launch of Anandita's blog.
Fashion fitness food blog. I think it was so impeccably kind of Ritik Roshan, the superstar legend, who launched it for me.
Since you have been raised by very renowned people, Shobha Deji and Dilipji, how was your childhood? Did it make an impact?
It's much more of a responsibility that comes with the legacy of your parents, and you're doing a prolific, wonderful job. I was like, I gotta be here.
Hi, Namaskar, and very warm welcome, Anandita. And I really want to thank you. I know you're keeping really busy, but I really want to thank you for taking out time to be present in this podcast. As we all know, you are doing so many things together. You are a freelancer journalist, you are a curator and a planner, you are a podcaster yourself, and you are the face behind hashtag NFI. Thank you and
Thank you for
warm
having me.
welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure. The moment I saw your page and you're doing a prolific, wonderful job, I was like, I gotta be here. Because, I truly believe that everybody needs to be heard, their stories need to be told, and I think that each of us are impactful in our own individual ways, and especially a lot more female energy power.
That's so warm. Like woman empowerment is coming forward. What all you have been through? What was your mental health challenges? What were you crying alone? Was it an alone journey? How was it?
It's been very humbling, very real, very highly grateful, nonetheless. And it was very arduous, very difficult. Took a lot of till today, a lot of daily resilience, a lot of grit, a lot of getting up and saying, no, I got to conquer this. And twice a day, whether it's in the morning or whether it's in the evening. And I think that most importantly, I just feel very much centered and I feel true to the essence of who I am. So a lot of people who are near to me, especially my loved ones, keep telling me, Anna, you're being too hard on yourself. But I feel that if I feel that I work the best under a lot of stress, under a lot of duress. And yeah, I think that sometimes I need to learn the balance of just chill, And but I have no chill in life. Like once I get into something, I get into it really hardcore. It could be any walk of life. Otherwise, I'm like, oh, I'm quite complacent. If I'm indifferent, I'm like, okay, I'm zoned out and checked out. But once I give my 100%, I give it 500. So that's it.
Amazing. And every day, I talk negative. about things like this is not working about out this is, and I'm being true honest. I talk
Yeah,
negative times because
yeah.
things are not functioning and behaving the way I'm expecting. Where did the journey begin from? What was the first thought? What was the trigger point, basically?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, it was in August 2024. I had
Taking
gone
it
for the
forward.
Bhutan. I'd gone to the Bhutan Lit Fest, and then once I came back from it, I just went for an overall general health checkup. And that's when I realized that, hey, there's something that I really need to check within me to check if my parameters are okay. Because I remember taking my mom for a staycation in Bhutan after the Lit Fest, and she was climbing the steps up and down and all of that with
Clear for
totally is despite the altitude, my mother at plus 70. And there was me just in my early 30s, and I couldn't, manage the altitude. I couldn't manage anything properly. I couldn't breathe. And my mom and me then decided that I'm going to go and get my health parameters checked on my return. So hence I did. And when I did realize that I was type 2 diabetic, I
that.
was like, this is going to change my life story for good, because anyways, I was the fit girl once upon a time in before 2018, and that's when my mental health, I became thereafter an advocate, but I've been supporting and championing mental health since then. So that is when it first led to the mental health challenges in 2018, is when the weight and the excess weight and then it became gross weight just kept building on eventually, and then it led to breathlessness, it led to insomnia, it led to not being able to get up from a chair without holding my knees. I couldn't bend. I would have these coughing fits all the time, like raging coughing fits. So many things. I didn't get my period for so many years, which is so vital as a woman, to get her period. So I didn't get all these things. I was facing so many, health hazards. And I was just very obstinate. Like I said, once I get complacent, I really get checked out. So when I decided overnight that, hey, you're going to go back to the original person you were, there was no holding any bar. And I just woke up and then just literally started with my daily steps, with my daily living, with eating right, with eating in much smaller portions, very mindfully. So, sleep is very regulated. And and then I also decided that I'm not going to get into any social scenes, because not because of anything that, hey, like, I don't like people. I love people. I've been into event planning and hosting events, and my, basic PR lifestyle is about meeting people, and I love meeting people from all walks of life. But because I became like all or nothing in my mentality, also, I was like, no, that there's certain things that you just have to really focus on your energy. And then once you're feeling a little better, once you're more set in your ways, then you can. So I think in the last couple of months only, we're in December 2025 now. It's only in the last couple of months, in these 15 months, that I'm like, okay, ठीक है, little bit. But I think that more than ever, I really love just spending time with myself. I love being with my dearest one, Bijou, who you'll soon see. She is the epicenter of my life. And yeah, that's all. Had to bring on the frame for you guys.
Hi, Biju. Hi. She's so cute.
So that's my child. And yeah, so I just love spending time with her, spending time with my loved and dear ones, and just being very simple. I love more the simpler way of life than, it being really out there and bougie and, all of that. Yeah.
Anna, tell me something that's very inspiring though. But a lot of people out there, when they start their weight journey, especially when they try, they want to lose weight, but for
Yeah.
the first few days they're eating healthy. they're going gym,
Mm.
they're doing everything, they have a trainer. But within
Yeah.
a week's time or 30 days or 90 days down the line, they give up. What
Yeah.
what was your thing to being consistent, being persistent, I would say. So what was pushing you? Were your
Yeah.
people believing in you? Because in one of the interviews you mentioned that your own people were not believing, like she has started
Right.
the journey, but
It feels surreal to say the least, of how I've managed to conquer this because it's not at all an easy task. But I think that the most exciting was that for so many years, I was just like, no, 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 I don't want to get onto the weighing scale. And I was completely living in a delusional world. And my doctors were like, if we have to, deal with your type 2 diabetes and we have to kind of take that, with us in your journey, then the first thing you'll have to do is get onto the weighing scale. So, I mean, it took me a lot of mind blocks to open and to kind of really, once I started doing that, opening the mind blocks, and then I got onto the weighing scale. And once I saw by my solid efforts, every single day, just getting up and doing my thing. And like I said, it's like a mantra now. It's like it's really embedded in me, to do this. It's not even like somebody has to say, hey, Anna, the clock is ticking. Chalo, now start working out or something, or eat right, or anything of the kind. It's just completely soaked in inside me. So once you kind of feel that, hey, this one dress that I kept in my wardrobe for so many years, that looks great on me, or one pair of jeans that I had kind of fits my waist again. I mean, these are small but very winning things, which kind of get us ahead in the game. And once, of course, the biggest thing is that your weight, the way you feel, internally within yourself. And if you live your honest truth, honestly, I think that nothing can really, be any better. So it's
but
the best thing to do is to kind of believe in yourself. So yes, I had a lot of brickbats when I was starting out my journey. Even at my brother's wedding, my own brother, he's my real brother, and I'm sitting here at the office right now, his office, and doing this podcast with you. So, there were really some guests who were like, "Oh, hair Ozempic on my face,"
oh,
and I was just
really?
very new in this journey, and people were really, really unkind. And especially at my brother's wedding, you don't expect somebody to say, "Hey, Ozempic on your face."
Oh,
But it did happen, and I had to, really, I mean, though I was crying for 1 minute, then I was like, no, 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 you're much stronger than that. You're built with so much more resilience. Get up and, do your thing, be there for your brother, be there for his wonderful wife. I was so happy that, despite all those brickbats and challenges my way, that I managed to be there for them in the best way possible. And I think that when you do that, when you are also selfless in this journey, other than just think constantly for oneself, and when people see that change, within you of just personality development, that in itself gives you much more gusto to carry on.
absolutely. But you've been very strong. Like you are losing weight, people are judging you. You are overweight, people are judging you. People
Yeah.
will say something or the other thing. It's just that you need to just go on and on till you reach your
Yeah.
destination or goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You are a very brave girl, and I must say you are very, very brave and very inspirational.
Um,
Like, coming like taking this on a very special day, you generally break down because you're overwhelmed with emotions, and then somebody pushing you down, pulling you down, really feels bad. But you're being very,
It
very
really does. Yeah. But, honestly, I think that also when one has to show up, right, for themselves, they cannot have any bad thoughts in their head, because then itself will weigh me down. So in order for me to continue the journey, I only have to keep pushing that, energy out, the good energy, right? Otherwise, I will still stay stagnant. And fortunately, because God has been so kind, I think this journey has brought me very, very close to God, because it's only God. But I say this often, that God will only help those who can help themselves. And one has to really, really work hard in order for God to bless you. So I feel that because the closeness and the relationship with God, that it gave me the strength in order to show up for myself every single day. And without anybody else being accountable for me. So I may be at my brother's wedding, I may be in Europe for a holiday where people normally have wine and cheese. I used to most definitely have champagne when I used to go to Europe, more than even Bombay, of course, because the quality of it is so good. Um, so many times, that there's been temptation around me, but I've never ever let that get to my head, or even for that matter, not even it. Food is one thing. Now I look at it as cardboard. Ki, haan, ye cardboard hai. It's not good for me. In fact, now I'm over paranoid, when it's not because I know that I'm going to eat it, but it's just that even if I fear for somebody so much, for so strongly, and if I see them eating wrong, I'm just like, why? When there's so
People
many other
take it.
cleaner
Yeah.
options, you know, and when you eat clean, also you feel good, right? Otherwise, you're like, oh God, it's just for those 2 minutes or 5 minutes. You're like, huh, I'll eat that, French fries or whatever, and then you're like, oh damn, I wish I didn't eat that. So I'm like, why are you killing yourself
And the
literally? And you just might as well
journey. Yeah.
enjoy the moment
Yeah.
of, feeling good, looking good, being one with oneself. One doesn't need to eat and drink, any other thing other than whole foods.
You have become very, very spiritual. Coming back to a question on your childhood and your wellness journey. So tell me something. You mentioned that you have gone through clinically tested mental health
Yeah,
journey. What was it about?
yeah.
What were the signs that we were getting when you first realized that I have something different in me? What was it?
So I remember that in 2018, from 17 onwards, and then more so from 2018, I went through, I think, I mean, it's very normal to have a really bad, terrible sort of a relationship. It was very, very deceitful in many ways.
Mhm.
And we went through quite a few challenges, which I've very openly stated in my upcoming book, but we'll talk about that next. So that kind of led me to a lot of ill health, negative thoughts. He used to condemn me rather than encourage me even to work out. When I it was actually after my blog launch, the fashion and fitness blog launch, which Ritik had launched for me. I met this guy, and then he's like, working out isn't cool, Anna. And he used to psych me into the fact that, hey, it's a bad thing when it's the best thing that anybody can do for themselves. So I think with a lot of that negative psyche and constantly be reinstated within my soul, and he did have such an, presence in my life, which did sway me the other way in that sense with my ill health. So I think that due to all these negative factors at the time, that I became so vulnerable in thought and in question, and that led me to mental health challenges. And now today, it's a very, very different story. But at the time, I went through pangs of, anxiety attacks, which was so severe that I couldn't even, like, my whole body used to tremble like this, or I would sweat, my hands would become greasy with sweat. I couldn't think straight. Sometimes my vision would get blur. I used to, go into a spiral, like a downward spiral. I that is what, in fact, in like really led me to the weight gain, because I would everything that I would do other than going out for work, I would just do everything from my bed, right? Like in my bedroom. And until one day, my mom's like, okay, like you can chill in your bedroom, but if you're feeling this negative vibe, then the room, the space that you're in is basically just eating you up. You have to get out. You have to go out there. You have to meet people. You can't, succumb or get sucked into a hole.
Yes.
But I chose that for myself at the time, and I didn't want to meet anybody. And it was very, very unlike me. Since a child, I've been a very gregarious, outgoing person. But this whole thing, kind of made me very different from the person that I am. So that is when I went in 2018, once my mom, studied the subject of mental health more and got me the right sort of doctors also on board. I mean, I had a fantastic, he's the best in the country, if not in the world. Dr. Rajesh Parekh, who's a neuroscientist,
Mm.
and he's very, very highly world class in his approach towards mental health. He's in fact very, very close. He works very closely with the Ambanis as well, and I had the privilege and the honor for him to be consulting him was a huge honor. So yeah, so I got treated by him, and it was through his orbit of doctors and therapists and counselors that I also sought a lot of counsel and help, and today I am the person that I am.
Amazing. So, Anandita, tell me something. You've been very, I would say you're blessed to have awareness that you're suffering from something, but mental health in India is still a taboo. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to talk about it, especially in non-urban areas when children are suffering, like youth is suffering from all these signs of greasy hands and shivering and palpitations and anxiety. People end up calling them dramatic. So, what is your one message for awareness? Like, if you have these symptoms, what should they be doing?
I firstly think that although I'm so for, and I have always been somebody who's a huge advocate of mental health and to propagate it in the best way and to give it the most amount of light, I think that a lot of Gen Z out there is also using कि हाँ मेरे पास mental health issues है. I don't think that unless somebody, like you said, has gone through these physical challenges or ill health of any kind, should loosely use these terms ki, I have mental health issues, I have depression, I have anxiety, because they've not been through these things. Whereas I feel that somebody like Deepika Padukone, what she's done with her Live Love Laugh Foundation is incredible, because she's gone to the rural parts of India, not just urban India, and she's really using her global voice to reach people at the grassroots level. And that is where people feel it the most. The infrastructure is the weakest, and there's so many odds and challenges within their realm, right? And we in urban India can loosely use all these terms because, like you rightly said, yes, it comes with privilege. But unless somebody has been through the actual, the nuances of mental health and what it entails in the most rural sense of the word, I think that they shouldn't use these terminologies. But somebody in rural India, I'm sure like they go through these challenges. And if I, as myself can be of any sort of consequence voice for them, and in fact, I like being with people at the grassroots level. I enjoy it the most because I think that they're actually the ruler ones in this modern day world that we're living in. So if I can make a difference to them, and I have in my own ways, and will continue to do so, then I'm always that girl. So yeah.
Amazing. You are very motivational. I think I'm getting a lot of energy from you, Anand.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll get into this chapter of your launch. You launched, as you mentioned, you launched a blog, a life food and lifestyle blog. with Ritik
It
Roshan.
was a fashion fitness food blog, yes,
So it
which
was, you
the
launched a
actor,
fashion, fitness, lifestyle, food blog, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
how
yeah.
was
It's a whole culmination of lifestyle, basically. Whereas, like I
what was
said,
the
to
idea? Like,
2000,
why did it start? What was the idea? Who launched
yeah,
it? And how?
yeah.
Yeah. How's it going now?
So it was like the time that, when blogs were like the biggest thing, that people were still clicking hits on a website, right? Compared to Insta pages and Insta lives or reels that we do today. So I wanted to be more than just Instagram. I wanted to be a platform where people can really, like you said, get advice, a voice, even for them to share, right? Because I don't want to just be the only person here voicing my thoughts. I want people to communicate with me. So there was also a section where and now AI is taken over, and there's an AI stylist, etc. on websites. But since I did study also fashion styling in 2019 from the Regent's University in London, and I had an incredible time. So when I did that, when I came back, I even launched that added platform to my website so that people could actually get stylized by me. So it was just so incredible, to be able to kind of say things which now I think a little bit people use so many filters, even in terms of writing. It's not just photos or videos anymore. It's
Everything.
even like curbing back on communication and language. So at that time, it was so free, it was so free flowing, with so much energy, and people need that. It's such a hectic life that we lead that sometimes you just need a refreshment, and that is where Risque and Bayana Day was. It was a platform to just get re-energized, and be it in the food, culinary, fashion, and fitness, of course, world. But I think it was so impeccably kind of Ritik Roshan, the superstar legend, who launched it for me. It was a friendly favor. He did it so sportingly. And he even teamed up with HRX at the time. And he and I, got people HRX merchandise gifted to them who attended the blog launch, etc. And I think that his words to me were just so incredibly special.
I think when somebody does something in a very kind way to you, you also
Yeah,
learn to do it with others. And I think I
absolutely.
see that in a lot of your videos. You've been very kind, you've been very honest to the things that you're doing, you know,
Yeah.
because when you experience it, you want to share that experience with others. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that without authenticity, nothing, no story can be told, or nobody wants to hear any, constructed story of today in today's times when everything is so manufactured, filtered. So I think that authenticity is what actually sells, and what sells a true story and narrative. Like I said, even in this wellness space, first people were like name calling, call me Ozempic, this, that. But I think that when they saw me every single day being really, really honest with my journey and posting twice a day about my daily steps, seeing the physical results for themselves, seeing that, hey, Anna has completely, switched over
You
from
were being
not
very
drinking.
honest because you were posting, like, I would think twice before posting. You were
Yeah,
posting everything, like physical
everything.
journey and mental journey. You were posting everything. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
very courageous, I would say.
I believe in just somebody asked me recently, they're like, "Oh, you're looking so great. How come you still put your old pictures on the internet?" I'm like, "See, if I have to be relatable, this is also very much part of my narrative. I can't just put hot pictures or sexy pictures or good-looking pictures of me. I need to put real life everyday pictures of me in order for you to be like, hey, let's follow Anna, because if she can do it, then we can do it. And that's all I want. I don't want anything else. I just want to make like an Anna tribe, and
Absolutely.
not like Ori, but the way he has his Ori minions. But I want to be just like, hey, Anna's a cool girl, and let's get on to Anna's tribe for being authentic and genuine.
Right, you're very honest and you're very, you're very transparent in what you say and what you mean, basically. In 2023, you launched your digital presence by podcasting celebrities like Yash Birla, Sid Malya, Barka Dutt, and Faye D'Souza. How this started, how this journey started, and what was the idea behind it?
Sure. So, I've been writing in the publication space since 2017, 18, but then after that, I was like, what is the next step? One thing is writing in the media space, but now that Instagram is such a huge platform, it is also important to get some digi face, right? So that is when I decided that, okay, I want to, just interview people. It was no, hectic camera setup or anything. It was a chota little podcast tripod and me just interviewing people, taking that little podcast thing, tripod from place to place and just interviewing people very simply, very basic. No hectic, luxurious setup or anything like that. Because like I said earlier, that it's all about the story and how you story tell. That is the most important. It is not about having the most high-tech infrastructure or anything of that kind. And I wanted people who are influential in their space, but who have very, very real stories. What I admire the most about Yash being such a dear, dear friend of his is that he lost three family members. That's his parents and his sister in a plane crash. Yet, the resilience, the grit, the determination, the man shows up. He's so unfiltered, yet so spiritually connected to God and just owns his truth. And I love how he articulates that every single day on his, whether it's his social media, whether you meet him in reality, coming from such a high esteemed family like the Birla family, yet being so incredibly grounded. So I loved interviewing for that. Faye, personally, I think after the pandemic, we have all just been so incredibly in awe of her because we need in today's generation news and nuggets. And I don't think there's anybody better than Faye who does that, who just gives cut to the punchline. She just gives it. It's very black and white, literally her news, black font, white text. And there we are with the punchline. And sometimes you don't need to read a full article, especially in the times that we live in. It's so hectic for each individual, all of us. So I think that what Faye has done, even in terms of her own podcast, Beep Shoot app, or it's like a newsroom for her. So I think that each individual has such a personal story. I mean, Barkha is incredible. She's always been like always somebody who's been pushing the envelope when it comes to the most credible news. And she's created a prolific space for her own self within the news space. So I don't think that, these voices, even for me, despite having, people assume that, yeah, Anna has access to all these people very easily. It's actually not that because I remember like Barkhan me speaking for over maybe a year about this, and one fine day she's like, "ठीक है, I'm in the middle of these hazard things. I'm filming, I have to showcase real news, etc., etc." So she's like, "I know I have a podcast date with you." So she literally, if I will show you, she's gone on the middle of the road, okay, and I loved her commitment to me that she's gone in the middle of the road, she's put up her cameras and she's filming. I was like, how incredible, right? That she's owning up to her credibility, okay, and doing that, that, hey, Anna, I gave you time. And I was fairly a newcomer in the space at the time, and she just believed in what I was doing and she gave me that airtime. So I will never forget that gesture. Same goes with Faye. I remember that I was chasing her for about 3 to 6 months, and I was like, "Oh God, again, Faye!" And like it's gonna happen again. That we're not going to be able to do this. And the way she's been so generous, I mean, Faye being Faye, she has all the infrastructure in the world, etc. But she knew how important it was for me to get a FaceTime with her, like in real time. So she came over, and I'd, of course, in all my glee and excitement, because it was Faye coming over, I set up a little high tea made with all homemade snacks for Faye, and we had a nice, tea date, and then we got into this conversation. She's so humble and so gracious. And, honestly, when you meet such people from different walks of life who have made themselves so incredibly successful, and yet being so true to themselves, their identity, is when you're like, oh my God, I have so much to learn. And you truly do. So I think it's that. Another person I must honor is Sid Malia. Like, if you ask me about wellness today, I think that I got the most amount of inspiration from Sid Malia, even in my own personal journey with health. Because here's a guy, so I mean, his father may be, because of work professionally, a controversial figure in our country, but he has been an incredible friend for many, many generations with and decades with my parents. So I would never do any injustice to their relationship by saying otherwise. But I think Sid himself is such a grounded, humble, spiritually rich person. And the amount of what he's contributed in the mental health space has been immeasurable, right? And when he told me, like, an ex liquor baron's son is telling me that, hey, Anna, I don't drink, and I just quit it, and I'm clean now the last 3 years. I was like, wow, like a liquor baron who's been a billionaire, okay, is telling me that he doesn't drink. So, somewhere within my own journey, I started my journey in August 2024. By October 2024, one fine day, I just woke up and I said, TK, let's just be like this guy, Sid, because I got so inspired by him that I was like, TK, chor do, like, forget it. And despite, savoring, like to savor, not drink for drinking, but to savor a drink, I gave it all up. And since October 2024 till current date, I've not even had half a sip of alcohol. So many of them have just been so inspirational and so wonderful in their own ways, and without them even knowing it, which I think is even better. It's not with the matlab, it's not with an agenda, it's not with a purpose. They're just being themselves, and I'm been imbibing that and taking that into my journey and being the person who I am.
Amazing, Anna. I think you have all the qualities of people that you're meeting because in the conversation with you in last couple of days, I have been learning from you a lot. Like you've been very humble, you've been very patient, and you're very you are when you talk about your message, you're loud and clear, but you're still very kind and you're very you're not making it a point. So I
Yeah.
think you have learned a lot of things from others and you're executing it also. It's not like you have learned it and you have forgotten it. It's all
Yeah.
becoming part of your character also. I see a lot of those things in you too. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think that, like you rightly said, that, whether it's mirroring other people or this entire journey, especially, has really sucked me in and got me more inward, right? So you kind of, when you go inward, you really deep delve into your own personality. And I think that I've just been refining my own personality
Okay.
day and day, and just polishing that to be a much better person and to add and create an impact in this world.
Amazing. It's like because I totally can relate, Anna, because more and more person that I've been interviewing and every person, every individual, every guest has a story. And some of the stories like yours give me goosebumps internally. I'm not maybe telling this outside, but It's very inspirational. I think about it, like we usually think that certain set of people do not have stress, certain set of people do not have mental health issues or any kind of issues in life, but every human being has problems.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
human being has to deal with something or the other. Maybe you can't even imagine what they're dealing with, you know,
Yeah,
at the
because
same.
everything supposedly is supposed to look very nice from the outside, and it's actually when you talk to somebody and you're like, oh, hey, actually, and I think that when your role, then I'm role, and we share what is actually going on within us than just putting on a facade. So I would rather speak to real people who it doesn't mean that they come from the same walk of life as me. I don't believe that. I feel that we should all talk to each other on the same level, right? Because only when we talk to each other on the same level can we understand even ourselves better. So I think that let's have grace, let's have humility, let's have decency. I think that these qualities are being forgotten, and I think it's really, really time now that we revive these superb qualities that once mankind did have, and we should really bring just humanity on a very cellular level back into our existence.
That's so amazing. Tell me something, Anna. Since you have been into lifestyle, fashion, right now, what are you actually doing and how are you making an impact in the world?
Well, I'm just using my own voice, whether it's being really active on my Instagram, like a creator on Instagram about wellness. So just using that space. Secondly, I've just finished writing. I've literally churned out everything within my soul, gone deep, deep, deep into it, and written my debut book, which I'm very, very excited about. It was been nothing but a humbling experience because I at first, was like, oh my God, how am I going to write a book? I can write an article, sure, but to write a book is a whole different thing. It's a whole different gamut. So I was like, okay. So I literally took each day as it came and wrote the book. And finally, today there is one, but I will only share more details when I'm in a position to do so. But yes, I'm very excited about that and all possibilities in the wellness space. I'm very, very open to taking that on because, like I said, that is something that I've decided in the last year and a half is that okay, I've been into luxury lifestyle, but I want to go even more niche now and just stick to wellness. And this has been my life calling in so many different ways and professionally as well. And I'm very happy in this space. I must give you a certain shout out to somebody that you and I love and who are so, who's been such a dear friend and ally of your work as well as mine. And that is Suvir Saran. He is exceptionally talented, of course, for being the legendary chef and Michelin star and all of that, and author, and who's such an superbly written. I mean, the way he writes is just, I mean, par excellence. But I think that more than that is his ability to reach people at all levels. And I think that I've seen him with people who are not public figures, but real people, simple, like, my girl at home, Pushpa, who literally looks after me and who's my caregiver. The way Pushpa and Suvir interact, I'm like, wow. Like they're like two buddies. And I'm like, how does he have this humanity, this humane, so much of it to be just so gracious at all times, right? Because it's so easy ki haan, main ye hoon, main wo
Unique,
hoon.
very
But
unique.
he doesn't have any airs about him. And that is what I truly love is that he can really, I've seen him like, yes, the world sees him in the most beautiful clothes and jewelry and all of that. But when I meet him, I'm like, Suvir, I don't want any of this. I just want to see you for you because I see his soul. And for me, he is my soul brother because the way he's protected me in this 1 year slash 15 months in this entire journey of mine, when nobody was cheering me at the time, it was Suvir who used to every day call me up and have a conversation with me. Every time that he is in Bombay, he sits with me and we have literally dal chawal at home, very simple ghar ka khana. And he sits and talks to me, whether it's his own insights of life, whether it's my insights of life. We just sit very plain clothes and just talk to each other. And it was in Maldives that I met him in 22. And I met him. So when I met him, I had to interview him. So I was like on my professional best behavior. And I was like, oh, I'm interviewing this mega star and this and that. So I have to go really professionally, well prepared, and all these types of things in my head. So I sent him a lot of emails with questionnaires. And, you know, when you have the certain journalistic trait in you, then that's in you, right? So you're going to send him all these questionnaires and be as well prepared and all of that. But when I met him, there was just a certain casualness that he had, like, oh, like, why are you treating me like this? Treat me like a normal person, like a friend. And the way he made me instantly feel, right? And that I've seen across the board whenever I introduce him or when we meet people, is that he instantly is like, but I'm not this and I'm not that. I'm just like, regular folk. And I love that energy about him. I find it so refreshing, especially in today's times. And even a half somebody or not even a celebrity of his magnitude and level, and I mean, you just look at him and all his hard work, his laurels, his awards, and everything, and yet he's so simple. And
Indeed.
because I like, simple and just chill people, I really, really love him. And I love him because he doesn't need any, paparazzi or anything to be a nice, kind person. He is that. And it shows in multiple ways, and especially behind closed doors and behind cameras. And that's when you know that that person is genuine as hell. So
He has
that's
made
who we
an
I
impact
feel.
in my life too. In a very like very short term, we met very very short term. But the kind of impact he has on me is like the way you said that it doesn't matter to him. Like it's a celebrity or it's a normal real people.
Yeah.
Everybody is human to him, and he's very
Yeah.
very human. That's very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but he and me share this thing which is very common, is that the more normal a person is, the more chill we are. The moment somebody is a so and so, then I get a little bit on guard. Ki, how is that person going to be? And I've seen Suvir also. He doesn't get, oh my God, this is this person who's walked into a room, even if it may be a bigger star or a movie actor or whoever. He knows how to keep himself in check, and he knows that, if he likes you, he likes you. And if he doesn't like you, he'll keep to himself. So I'm like him in
No
that regard.
boundaries.
So I see a
Yeah.
lot of myself in him.
Yeah, I think people who are aware of their boundaries, they are like they can protect themselves also because sometimes then
Yeah.
other people takes over. So you need to
Yeah.
set boundaries to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
So this is the last chapter of the podcast. I want to know about, since you have been raised by very renowned people, Shobha Deji and Dilip ji. So tell me, how was your childhood? Did it make an impact? Were things getting difficult or easy for you? Like, how do you want to share that story with us? Overall, in your personality, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, right. So, I think that, yes, of course, it comes with the territory of coming from a renowned family, or, you're constantly, like I said, you have to be in check, you have to keep your social graces in check. You have to always think of the second person, not just yourself. You have to be more responsible, you have to be more aware, it's much more of a responsibility that comes with the legacy of your parents than just because they are that I'm going to be able to do whatever the hell I want to do. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to conduct yourself graciously, and I think that most importantly, what my parents have really given five of my elder siblings and me that space is to be ourselves, yes, to be individualistic in nature, but at the same time, to be very, very traditional, to be very, cultured, to be, know our heritage, know where our roots come from, and know the value of living on all counts, be it financially or otherwise, to know that what we're grateful for every single day. And I think that that is the most important lesson. And I think that also when blended families are, we have never ever since the time that we have grown up, and I think that that is amazing. And blended families wasn't even a concept when we were being brought up back then, that, oh, it's never been like, oh, these are my children and these are your children, and now that we are married we have two children. It's never been like that. So I feel that that is so wonderful, right? That all the siblings that I have, there's no step, there's only that she's my sister, he's my brother, and that is the way that my parents have brought us up. And I think that that has been so incredible. Yes, of course, the challenges in every family, but the most real thing and the biggest gift that they've given us is that we can be all ourselves. So even if I can share my mental health stories, is because I've had that consent, that they know that each child out here won't do anything to shame them or to bring a sense of embarrassment to them. And that also is our responsibility where we come from as their children.
So, Nandita, this is all about you. It's a rapid fire. You have to say one word for everything that I'm asking. Okay. Food for you is?
It is eating right.
Okay. Parenting for you is?
Can get on my nerves, my parents, but at the same time, I wouldn't choose any other parents in this lifetime and any other.
Okay. Friends for Nandita?
Friends are the most important and the most grounding. So, yes.
Okay. Fashion for Anandita?
Very experimental, avant-garde, but now I'm becoming more of the quiet, modest kind.
And travel for Anandita?
Very, very important especially for my mental health. It's very, very important to go.
Last but not the least, love for Anandita is?
Love or love?
Love.
Sorry, I didn't.
Love.
Love.
Love for
Oh,
Anandita.
yeah.
Oh,
I love being a parent to my Bijou.
that's
She's the
so
most important being in my life, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and otherwise. I just love and adore her. We're
sweet.
one human being, and I can't have more of her in my life. I just love her.
I think he or
She,
she is also
she,
enjoying the way you are.
of course she is.
Okay, so that is all about today's podcast, Anandita Day, and I'm
Thank you. It's
really
been
enjoying.
such an incredible.
Thank you so much for talking through your heart, by your heart, with your heart on this Saar Holistic Wellness podcast, which is inspiring youth, which is inspiring parents, which is inspiring the nation to be kind, to be humble, to be empathetic. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you. You've been a fantastic podcaster. Lots of love, success, and only blessings your way.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, parents. If you find our podcast relatable, educational, then do subscribe to our channel. In the comment box, write your parenting challenges. We'll try to address them one by one. And never forget to share it with amazing parents like you. Because remember, by learning together, we can raise kind, confident, and connected children for happy families and happy nations.